Hello.
Ahoy.
Welcome to episode
12
of Bottom of the Stream. I keep doing that forgetting thing and you keep reminding me.
What, because you can't count?
Yeah, we've got into double figures since then. I'm screwed.
Managed to keep up with the maths in cube, but you struggling
I
to
didn't
count
keep
past
up
10.
with the maths in cube at all. I don't think anybody keeps up with the maths in cube. Yeah, episode 12 of Bottom of the Stream, where we are trawling the bottom of Netflix to find little hidden gems for you.
Yeah, I'm Nick.
I am Adam.
And we're here to watch films, have a chat about them, and randomly
pretend we know
them.
what we're talking about. Follow us on all the socials. Twitter, Twitter, BOTS_podcast. Instagram is the same, BOTS_podcast. Facebook.com/bottom of the stream. Email address is bottomofthestream@gmail.com. And the website is bottomofthestream.podbean.com.
Yeah, contact us, tweet us, talk to us.
Yeah, rate, review, and like the podcast wherever you get it from.
Let us know what you think of any of these films if you've seen them.
Yeah, and if you've got any suggestions for films as well, we'll be happy to take them on.
Yeah, we'll throw them into the mixer.
Yeah, we'll put them all into the bag and go from there.
Yeah.
Are you ready to talk about this week's film?
I am so ready to handle this package.
Okay, let's go. So, the package. Before we start on this one, I just want to say something.
Yeah.
If my parents are listening, can you please stop? Move on to a different podcast. Do not listen to this podcast.
Yeah, I'll echo those thoughts.
Thank you.
I'm really sorry, Mum.
I do not want my mum or my dad to be listening to this podcast.
Oh, we're going to say the word dick so much.
So much. Okay, so The Package is a 2018 film, came out last August. It's a 15 and it's 1 hour and 34 minutes long. It's a Netflix original.
Yeah, so this is directed by Jake Szymanski. So
yes.
He is quite well known for a film that came out 2 or 3 years ago called Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
Yes.
Which I've seen, and
I've seen it as well,
I remember, it was
enough.
okay.
Yeah, it's like a toned down version of this. It's a completely different type of film, but the jokes are similar but less.
Yeah,
more
so that's
mainstream.
got Zac Efron.
Yes.
Is it Adam Devine? He's always on Netflix.
Yeah, he's like a Netflix babe.
Aubrey Plaza and Anna Kendrick.
Yeah,
I
think you're right. There was Zac Efron went through that stage, didn't he, of doing teen gross out comedies.
Yeah, so it was around the same time as like the Neighbours, Bad Neighbours.
Yeah,
films.
That one we did with Robert De Niro. What was that called?
Dirty Grandpa.
Yes, he went through a stage, and I think he's come out of that now. But it was
anyway. Yeah, that was okay. That film.
Yeah, it was alright.
From what I remember. I'm surprised you've seen it.
Don't know why I've seen it, but I have seen it.
I'm going to say you don't like comedies, which makes it sound like you've got no sense of humour.
Which is not true.
Which isn't true. But I know this is the sort of film you would absolutely, in no way, shape or form, choose to watch.
No.
Of your own volition.
I wouldn't, because it's not that I don't like comedies. I don't like brazen comedy where it's like, oh, this is a really funny fart joke. And I like I like Napoleon Dynamite, that sort of comedy. And
that's a great film.
It is a great film. But anything with Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller, Zac Efron, Seth Rogen, all those people, no thank you. No thank you.
So you're not a fan of dumb comedies?
No, I'm not a fan of dumb comedies.
This is a dumb comedy.
It's a really dumb comedy.
Okay, we'll see what you think of this.
Okay. So it's a cast of relatively unknown people, but they all work consistently. They've all got a lot on their IMDb list, but I haven't really heard of any of them before.
So who plays Becky?
Becky is played by Geraldine somebody.
So no?
Geraldine Viswanathan?
Okay.
I'm going with that.
Sticking with that. So have you seen Blockers?
No.
Which came
is
out
that the one with John Cena in?
Yeah, it came out last year. So she was in that.
Okay.
Played the daughter in that, and that's how I recognise her from.
Okay.
And that is quite a funny film actually.
Okay.
And I thought she was good in this.
Yeah, she was.
She was probably the pick of the group. But anyway, we'll come to that. So what is the premise of the package?
The premise of the package is 3 lads, 2 girls go camping for spring break in the middle of nowhere, and one of them accidentally chops off his dick, and there's then a race against time to get him to hospital to get it back on. That's the premise.
They have to transport the package
to the hospital,
and the package is Jeremy's package.
Yeah. So
they can reattach
it to Jeremy.
Yeah. Yeah, hijinks ensue.
Yes, it does. So the very first scene is there's a lad getting ready for a camping trip. We later find out his name is Sean.
Yeah.
Who is probably the lead actor in this.
Yeah. So he's back home he's back visiting home because he's been away in Germany.
Yes.
Presumably on studying.
Studying, yeah, I think that was the what we were being told. Pre the title card. I'm going to come to the title card. There's a lad getting ready for a camping trip. His mum and his dad are downstairs. His mum's making some dinner, and she gets an aubergine. Is that what we're calling it? An eggplant in America.
Yeah.
And she chops the end off it.
Yeah.
Hit the title card. The package. Aubergine obviously being the emoji that people use for penises.
Do you know the working title of this film was the Eggplant Emoji Movie?
Yeah, I can believe that. I think the poster still is just, it doesn't say the word the package on it. It just has an eggplant emoji. Suddenly, they're all, his parents and a little kid, presumably his little brother, are watching something on the TV. And suddenly some very hardcore pornography appears on the TV.
The kid starts crying.
The kid starts crying. The parents are screaming. It's gone crazy. It turns out Sean's mate is outside. He knows the Wi-Fi and he started streaming it to their TV.
Yeah.
Which is a genius move.
So his friend is Donny, who is the odd-looking ginger boy.
Yeah, he's a very odd-looking boy.
So they then head out to meet the third person in their trio.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a lads' weekend. Yeah. From going camping.
Which, again, they've done for the past few years by the sound of it.
Spring break.
So they go to meet Jeremy.
Yes.
Jeremy's quite funny.
Jeremy, for me, was the highlight of this. Yeah. I loved him. He was brilliant. He decides to show them that he's got a fake ID for the weekend, which claims that he's a ranger.
Yeah, so he's a
military ID.
Yeah.
Which we'll come back later on to. And he's also got a flick knife.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's going to take this flick knife on a camping trip with him.
Yeah, so they're loading the car up and getting ready to go, aren't they? At which point Jeremy reveals that they will be joined by his sister, who is Becky.
Twin sister,
yep. Who has just broke up with her boyfriend.
Jad.
And Becky and Sean have sort of had a thing for each other for a long time. And they will also be joined by Sarah, who is Becky's friend and the girl that Donny has liked for, again,
he thinks he's had a relationship with in the past, but he hasn't. And it's just his dream girl, basically. But they make out that they hate each other.
Yeah.
Donny has a breakdown about these girls turning up. He is not happy in the slightest. He calls them away into a meeting in the car, and he explains that he wanted this to be a boys' weekend, a bros' weekend, and now these two girls are coming, it's going to change everything. But the other two don't give a shit.
No.
Then the girls are coming anyway, because the girls get in the car.
Yeah, and it turns out Donny's spread a rumour that Sean's not been away to Germany, but he has actually been in rehab.
Yes.
For an addiction to bath salts.
Bath salts.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Premise.
So far,
good start.
Good, yeah.
Good start. We know what we're getting.
Yeah. So, load up the car, off they go. Stop on the way.
Yeah.
Buy some booze with a load of fake IDs.
Yeah.
So Jeremy buys the booze.
Yeah.
And it turns out the guy who's running this gas station / convenience store is also ex-military.
Yes, he's a friend of the military.
Yeah. So,
he completely buys into the ranger thing, hook, line and sinker.
Yeah.
He even gives them a military discount.
Yeah, that's it. Off into the woods, settle camp.
Yeah, park the car. There's a scene, again, it puts it right into your face of Sean putting his phone into the glove box of the car. So Sean isn't taking his phone with him. Why? Nobody knows, but he isn't. And we reveal through scenes that he's blown his shot with Becky in the past. He had a shot with her before and he blew it. We don't really get explained how at this point. So they start drinking. They get to their campsite 6 miles deep into the woods, or the forest, whatever they're at. It's not a jungle. It's a woods or a forest. Sarah decides they're going to start drinking, so she nails Donny in the head with a can.
Yeah.
Launches it from one side of the camp to the other and gets him right in the face.
The physical bits of comedy with I think I only laughed like 3 times in this film. I think there's 2 of them with physical bits of comedy, and that was probably one of them.
Yeah, it was good. Then you get drinking montage.
Yeah,
every teen comedy needs a drinking montage. They're all trying to get Sean and Becky together. Even Jeremy's well up for it, even though it's his twin sister.
Yeah, so actually that was mildly amusing because they're twins. He has this theory that because of their connection, if Becky gets laid, he will
feel it.
Therefore, That's the level of thing that we're dealing with here, people.
So they're all quite keen on getting them together. When does he give him the condom at this point?
I think he's that's sort of in the midst of this party.
Jeremy gives Sean a condom with the Fun King written on it. The Fun King condom. So that's how keen he is for this to happen. Yeah, and to be fair, Becky's quite keen on it as well.
So she sort of sidles up to Sean, doesn't she? And she's got a bong. And
she's got a homemade bong made of a Coke bottle.
Should we go and hotbox this in the tent?
Yeah.
Just as they're having this conversation, Jeremy has sort of gone away to take a leak.
Yeah.
And
Donnie pulls Sean away.
Yeah.
Which becomes a recurring theme. Every time he's about to do anything with Becky, Donnie pulls him away. Because they want to play a prank on Jeremy whilst he's having a piss.
Yeah.
So Jeremy's there, he's clearly wasted, having a piss, playing with his flick knife.
Yeah. And the other two lads sort of jump out
jump out of the woods, scare him. He screams, the knife goes flying one way, his dick goes flying the other way. He is accidentally, whilst pissing, chopped off his penis.
Yeah. And it's sort of gone
into the woods.
10 feet down a hill
down
into
a ravine into the woods. Obviously he's quite distraught about this. He screams and the others scream and everybody's screaming. It goes a bit crazy.
And he's like, he's not sure if he's chopped it off first. He's like, I'm still pissing. And then it's like piss turns to blood.
Slow motion blood just spit.
Yeah.
This is a gross film.
Yeah. It's proper like gross out.
It's a teen comedy. Gross out comedy. It's worse than like American Pie or Road Trip. It's a much further level than that.
It's actually it's executive produced by Ben Stiller. You know.
Was it really?
Yeah, which was quite interesting because if you think what happened to his junk in there, something about Mary.
He's taken that to a whole new level. What I found interesting as well that you'll come to realise later on, but there's a puppeteer credited on the credits of this film.
Oh,
so you'll see why later on, but I thought that was quite fun.
They take Jeremy back down to camp.
Explain to the girls what's happened.
Yeah,
and everybody goes crazy and starts screaming. And
Sean
calms the situation down. He says, "Give me all your phones. We can't get any signal, but give me all your phones. I'll run up the hill. I'll see if I can get some signal." He gets all their passcodes off them, which was a nice little detail. And so he runs off.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Donnie and Sarah go to look for the appendage.
For the package. They go and try and find it in the woods.
Yeah.
Sean gets through to 911.
Yeah.
He gets Becky's phone unlocked, and Becky's phone's the only one that's got signal. And while he's talking to the 911 operator, Becky gets a text message.
Yeah, from her ex-boyfriend.
From Chad. The 911 operator says they'll send a helicopter.
Yeah.
Which missed the prime joke where he should have said we'll send a chopper.
Yeah, he really should have said
They missed that joke completely. While they're on the phone, Chad texts Becky. Sean reads the message.
He wants to get back together, doesn't he?
Chad wants to get back together with Becky. Sean decides he's going to text Chad back from Becky's phone.
He basically says, I don't want to get back. He
says, fuck off, you're a dirty taint. That's what the message says. Just as he's doing this, dirty taint is a great insult. I'm sorry. It's really made me chuckle.
I'm already finding this more funny to recap.
Talk about. I thought this might happen though. Because I thought this might happen. Anyway, Becky walks around the corner just as he's finishing on this message and she makes him jump. And he dramatically launches all the phones over his shoulder and down the ravine.
Yeah, they're gone.
The phones have gone.
Yeah.
So they've now got no phones between them. Sean's is still in the car and everybody else is at the bottom of this ravine.
Yeah.
But the 911 man is on his way.
Yeah, the helicopter's on his way.
The chopper's on his way.
Yeah, the chopper is coming to help the choppy.
Exactly. I like it. Cut to Sarah and Donnie.
Yeah, so they're still looking
for the dick.
Yeah. There's then various jokes about what's that? Is it a caterpillar? Is it a mushroom?
Yeah.
Is it
blah blah blah? They find it eventually.
Yeah.
There's a centipede millipede, some sort of bug crawling over it.
And then Sarah barfs all over it.
I did laugh at that. And it was really juvenile. It was disgusting, but it really did make me laugh.
It was like sweet corn in it and everything.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was bright yellow. She just vomited straight on it.
So they get the dick back to the camp. They put it on ice. Put it in a cooler.
Before they put it on ice, Sarah thinks, we need to keep it warm. So she puts it on a stick and puts it over the fire.
I forgot about that.
Jeremy freaks out about it. He's like, why are you cooking my dick? Then they realise it needs to go on ice. They put it in. They empty their beer cooler that they've got that is full of ice conveniently, and put it in the baggie.
Yeah.
And put it in there. Saved.
So Jeremy's obviously really upset. And it turns out that, you know, as a way to calm him down, well, it turns out that he's been writing a musical based on Britney Spears songs with his girlfriend, who he claims, he has never met.
No,
and
it's an online girl.
And is called Kendall Jenner's.
With an S.
So they all immediately tell him he's being catfished.
Yeah, they're convinced he's being catfished. Quite rightly.
Yeah. And
it's catfishing 101, I think Sean describes it.
Yeah, but as a way to calm him down, they start singing
Oops, I Did It Again.
Yeah. And they will get...
You're right, this is funnier to read.
Yeah,
it's funnier to talk about.
Maybe this... Yeah. I think maybe the script read better than the execution of this one. And so they tearfully have a sing-song to Oops, I Did It Again.
Absolutely. Then they see the chopper flying over.
Yeah.
So it does turn up.
Yeah, they think it's missed them.
Yeah.
Because it kind of goes over them.
It flies over them.
So Donnie takes a gas canister, throws it in the fire.
Yeah, to try and attract it.
And they all sort of dive for cover and leave Jeremy.
Yeah.
Just lying
right next to the fire. But nothing happens.
No. So they all sort of come out.
Sarah starts to make her way back.
Yeah.
Just as she does,
canister
explodes and she gets sent flying.
Sets Jeremy's foot on fire.
So Jeremy catches fire.
Yeah.
Again, this film is really relentless. It never stops. It's constantly go, 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 go. There's action, set pieces after set pieces. The helicopter turns around. Man, what do you call it when you descends from a helicopter? Is that the word?
No, it's fine.
I feel like it's a para something. Okay. He descends from a helicopter, hooks up Jeremy.
And give him the cooler.
Yeah, Sean gives him the cooler. And he says to the helicopter man says, "Who threw the gas canister on the fire?"
Donnie says,
"That was me. That's why you've seen me." And he calls him a fucking idiot. He says, "You're a fucking idiot. We saw you the first time. We were just circling around. You could have killed all of you."
But he says, "Well done. You put it on ice. We can get this, as long as we get it attached within the next, what did you say, 10 or 12
hours? So
we should be all right.
There's a nice shot of a helicopter flying over the forest. The cooler's gone. Everybody's happy. All they've got to do is get back to the car, go to the hospital.
Yeah, they said, "Right, we'll come and meet you at the hospital."
Yeah, that should be the end of it. It's barely the beginning.
Yeah. Why is it barely the beginning, Adam?
Because when they get back to the camp to start packing their tent away, they decide to have another drink, but they can't have another drink because Sean's given the wrong cooler to the man in the helicopter. They still have the dick. The man in the helicopter has the beer.
Yes.
Oh no.
Hence, we now have a race against time to try and reunite.
They've got 12 hours to get it back to its owner. Made more perilous by the fact that Donnie picks up the cooler, instantly goes flying, loses all the ice. So the dick is now in a bag but not on ice.
It's dirty.
It's a mess.
Puked on.
Yeah. Got bugs all over it and it's not on ice anymore. So they decide they need to hike quite speedily to get it sorted.
Yeah, because they've hiked miles and hours.
I think they said they were 6 miles in deep in the tent. The hospital, it cuts to the hospital and Jeremy, they realise they haven't got the dick.
Yeah. And this is sort of the first of a few scenes where with the nurse sort of explaining.
She was brilliant. I really enjoyed that.
They're on a countdown and they've only got a few hours.
She had no bedside manner whatsoever. No. She was really good. Sean tells Donnie that he texts Chad back. Just happened and Donnie didn't really react to it, but it didn't happen. But because at the same time, Becky spots a lookout station.
Yeah, so like a ranger station in the
forest. So they think, well, that must have ice.
Yeah.
Because they're still looking for ice at this point.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're on their way back to the car, but they take the chance.
Ice would be helpful. So they hike over to this lookout station, but it's empty.
Yeah, pretty much abandoned.
Yeah, Becky kicks the door in.
There's some mouldy
food in the fridge
on the side.
Yeah, it's been abandoned. Then this next thing happens. So Becky opens a cupboard. She's holding the dick at this point in the cooler, and there's a rattlesnake inside the cupboard. She freaks out and she throws the cooler at the snake.
Yep.
And what happens?
The rattlesnake bites the dick.
Yeah, the rattlesnake bites the dick. That's a sentence you never thought you'd hear yourself saying.
No, I definitely didn't. So they scare the rattlesnake off.
Yeah.
And they have now got into their heads that they need to remove the venom from the dick.
By sucking the dick.
Yeah. This was not good. You're just laughing now because we've got to describe this.
Yeah.
This was not good.
So they have a bit of it's not funny. They have a bit of a row about who's going to do it.
Yeah.
So Donnie tells Becky that she's got to do it because she's had that dick in her mouth before.
In the womb.
They all have their various reasons why they don't want to do it.
And Sean mans up.
Sean mans up. He says, I'm the one who gave them the wrong cooler.
I'll suck the dick.
I'll suck the dick. But you've got to leave me alone.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it while you're all watching. So the rest all leave and go outside onto the decking of the ranger station.
Yeah.
Where they see a drone fly over.
Yes. So a drone sort of buzzes overhead.
Yeah.
And they decide, well, we've got to follow it. That means there's people near.
We'll follow the drone. Quick, let's get Sean.
Yeah.
So they burst into the door just as Sean is sucking the dick.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. He gets quite embarrassed, but he manages to get it all out. He has to have another little go and get the rest of it out. But so they go chasing after this drone anyway. Let's leave that scene behind us.
So it's Sarah, because she's kind of the athlete, isn't she?
I think she's a soccer player.
Yeah, so she's chasing after the drone through the forest, and she sort of leaps to grab it, and she does, but as she does so, she sort of jumps off the side of a cliff, basically.
I don't see what good grabbing the drone does for her, because if she's grabbed the drone, how do you find the person who's controlling the drone?
Yeah, I agree. Could be...
that was mental.
Could be miles away.
Yeah, exactly.
Potentially.
You've got to follow the drone. You don't want to grab the drone.
It was at the bottom of the cliff, which was really convenient.
Yeah.
So she jumps over and, jumps into a lake,
basically,
which is at the bottom of this, grabs the drone.
Yeah.
And they can see there's a camp, there's a boat.
And a boat on the other side of the lake.
So that's kind of what they...
But it's really high up.
Yeah. And the rest of them have now got to jump off. And Donnie does it.
Donnie does it because Sarah did it.
Yeah.
And he wants to show that he's a man.
And then...
Sean and Becky have a bit of a chat about, should we do it or should we find an easier way down? Becky looks like she doesn't want to do it.
No, well, neither of them do, really.
No, but Sean doesn't want to become across as a weakling.
And then
Becky doesn't want to come across like it.
Trips over his own shoelaces.
Goes flying.
Flatbacks.
To use a wrestling term, he flatbacked that water so hard. You know, you've heard of a belly flop. This was a back flop. He hit it. And there's a really cool scene of him under the water just screaming, which I thought was quite funny. I quite like this guy.
It was,
I thought Sean was really good. So he's in the water. Becky jumps in after him. So they're all in the water.
Yeah, so they make it to the edge of the lake.
Yeah, just as they're all in the water, they see where they came from. The chopper's flying back over.
Yeah.
So if they hadn't moved, the chopper would have just picked him up anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's come back for the dick. Cut back to Jeremy in the hospital. The nurse is offering him a reconstruction of a penis.
Yes.
Where they can take a skin graft from his forearm or his butt and rebuild him one. He's not keen on that.
No, and it's at this point she takes a flower from the bunch of flowers that are on the window, and she drops it in a cup on the table next to him, and sort of says,
this is a metaphor.
The flower's out of the ground. It's only so long before it dies.
There's no water on this flower now. It's going to die. Jeremy takes that literally.
And it literally, you go into slow motion and a couple of petals starts falling. So you've got this whole Beauty and the Beast countdown.
I didn't think you'd compare it to Beauty and the Beast.
It's the same as what happens there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
The petals dropping off the flower.
The flower becomes the metaphor of the dick dying. There's something else I never thought I'd say. This is a podcast at first. Oh, while they're in the water, Donnie finds some panties. Just after they get out of the water, Donnie finds some ladies' panties on a rock. Yeah. And assumes they're Sarah's.
Yeah, which he thinks she's left for him as a sign.
As a sign, yeah.
So stupid.
It is stupid.
It's so stupid.
They find the guy who was flying this drone.
Well, it's kid,
11-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, the best character in this film. I loved this kid.
He's there for 3 minutes and he stole the show.
He completely stole it. I thought it was brilliant.
So he's been piloting the drone.
Yeah. So they say to the kids, "We need your boat.
Yeah.
We need to get this back to its owner." The kid will give them the keys to the boat if he can see the two girls scissor. Oh. And as soon as he says that, Sarah hits him so hard.
Yeah.
She proper slaps him in the face. And she grabs him and they threaten him with the dick.
Yeah. They literally wave it right in his
can't remember
nose.
the line, but it was so disturbing. This poor kid.
Is it something like dicks get chopped?
Dicks get chopped, dicks get sucked.
Yeah.
I think it was. Dicks get sucked, dicks get chopped. Which traumatises this 11-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So they take the boat.
They're just wading out to the boat.
Yeah.
And the dad comes
The dad's come back to the camp. The kid is sitting completely comatose on the rock.
Yeah. Sort of rocking back.
And he just repeats that line back to his dad. The dick gets sucked, the dick gets chopped, or whatever it was.
And the
dad obviously jumps to the conclusion that the kid's been molested by these people who are now stealing his boat.
Look, no, this is funny while you watch.
I don't know. That kid was brilliant.
Well, I said I only laughed a couple of times. And one of the bits that did make me laugh is the bit coming up. So the dad chases, sort of wades after them, and Sean's back's all red from where he hit the lake. And the dad he's been out fishing, and he then proceeds to start whipping Sean in the back
with the fishing rod,
which I did kind of.
Sean's screams were funny because he's got this really high pitched squeal, and I was laughing at that point.
And so they escape in this boat.
Yeah, because Donnie nails him with a can of beer.
Yeah,
he returns the favour that Sarah gave him earlier.
Yeah, and he sort of says, "You taught me
well. Yeah, I learned from the best." So they get away with the boat.
Yeah.
While they're sitting on the boat, Donnie reveals that he's now wearing the panties that he found, that he thinks are Sarah's. Shows Sarah that he's wearing them. She says they're not mine.
Yeah.
So he's just wearing some ratty old pants that he found in the forest. The pace that we're going through this is the pace this film goes at. There's no like filler scenes or anything. It's constant.
There's nothing though.
No. It's just set piece after set piece after set piece. It's like watching a sketch show. Like
last week. So with these two films we watched the last 2 weeks, so Bottom of the World last week, The Package this week, could not be more different.
No, they're the one end to the other.
But there are some similarities in the pacing.
The pacing, definitely.
They both absolutely just constantly
high tempo
bash you over the head with something else. There's no nuance to either of these. They're breathless. They are both like an hour and 20 minutes, and it is just like totally for ADHD generation type thing.
Yeah, it is non-stop. This film especially is non-stop.
Yeah.
It's constant.
So they get in a boat, they get back to the car.
Yeah.
And
we get another scene of Jeremy telling the nurse that he doesn't want the fake cake.
They're on the way. They're on the way to save him.
Yeah. So as they're driving off, they obviously get signal back on their phones. Becky's got a voicemail. And the voicemail's from Chad. And he is not happy.
No.
Because he has received the message. Sean tries to explain to her why Chad's not happy, but she cuts him off. She's like, I don't care. He's not going to talk to me like that no matter what. So Sean then thinks he's got away with it. And they get back to the petrol station or the gas station that they went to on their way up there.
Yeah.
Where they stop again.
Yeah.
Because they need ice. They still need ice. I don't know who the guy who the petrol station clerk was, but it was really good.
He was, he had a good cameo.
he played his little cameo well.
Yeah.
So it's
the same guy that they bought the booze off on the way in.
Yeah, so he knows Jeremy. He recognises that Jeremy's not there with them anymore.
Yeah.
And while they're looking for ice, they kind of explain to him what's happened, and they show him the dick in the cooler, which is all dirty and grubby. What does he offer to do with the dick?
So he says it would be an honour to clean up that dick.
Yeah, because he's a ranger.
Because
it's a ranger's dick.
And he implies it's not the first time he's had to do this.
Yeah. Didn't you say at one point, the only dicks I've ever cleaned in mine are my husband's?
Yeah.
I think he says that at one point. And then you get a dick cleaning montage.
Yeah, so I'll let you describe this, and then I want to know if this reminded you of anything from any other films. Because it did to me, and I can't decide if they meant this might have been one of the best references. As shit as this film was, this might have been one of the best callbacks or references to another film. So, what happens?
You get a dick cleaning montage.
Yeah.
So he's got like brushes and tweezers, and he's tweezing the little bits of dirt off and the brushing. Yeah. But I can't say I recognised it.
So he's even got like he pulls having a little monocle, so he's cleaning the dick off.
He spends a lot of time in it,
making it like
by the time it's finished, it glows.
Yeah.
It's glowing from out of the cooler.
What do you remember of Toy Story 2?
Ooh, I haven't seen Toy Story 2 for a long time.
So
yes, I know what you're going to say.
So there's a point in Toy Story 2 when Woody has been sold or he escapes and he's with the antique toy smith, and he does exactly the same sort of thing. So he's got exactly the same sort of contraption.
I think you're right.
He's sat at his desk, he's picking all the little bits of fluff up, he's painting him, makes him good as new.
I think you're right. I think that's got to be deliberate.
So the fact that in Toy Story 2, Woody is being cleaned up, and we are now cleaning up
a Woody,
has got to be...
has to be deliberate. I had not picked up on that at all, but that has to be deliberate.
If that's deliberate, then this film gets a couple of extra bonus points for me, because I thought that was a brilliant reference.
I think you're right. That has to be. Now you've said that, I've got that scene from Toy Story in my head. That can't be a coincidence.
No, it can't be.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. I really... I was just out of nowhere.
It blew my mind.
Out of nowhere, I thought, considering what this film is, that's actually...
Yeah.
Quite funny.
I'll give you that. Good spot. Anyway, so He cleans up the dick. It's all glowy and nice and clean. He gets Jeremy's ID again.
Yeah, he sees Donnie's ID.
He sees Donnie's because he's putting Jeremy's back in his wallet.
Yeah. Yeah, the wallet just like falls open.
Yeah, you might be right. Anyway, he sees inside Donnie's wallet.
Yeah.
And he's a high school ID.
Yeah.
So
he realises he's cleaned a civilian dick.
Yeah.
Which he is not happy about.
And that's where he says the only 2 dicks I ever clean are mine and my husband's.
Yeah.
So they leg it. Sean's shirt comes off again. So you see his back again.
Yeah.
They leg it out, and this guy gets a crossbow from his truck outside, and he starts firing crossbows at him.
Yeah, as they're driving away.
One hits the cooler.
Yeah.
One hits the side of the car, and just as they think they've got away, one goes through the back window and into Donnie's shoulder, through the seat.
And it turns out there's a joke here where one of the girls turns around and says to Donnie, "Well, you've just got the tip."
I didn't even pick up on
the
that.
arrow.
He gets
not a good joke.
It's not a good joke. I didn't even pick up that was a joke. He got the tip of the arrow in his shoulder. So they get away anyway. There's arrows out of the car. There's an arrow in the cooler. And there's an arrow in Donnie, which they get out quite quickly. And they get to the hospital.
Get to a hospital.
And they get into the hospital and they say, "We've got the dick."
Is Jeremy,
whatever his surname was,
here?
No,
he's not there.
He's not there. They're at the wrong hospital. Comedy, hilarity ensues.
So, but the lady on the desk, the nurse on the desk says, "You need to try whatever this hospital is a few miles away."
It's got a helipad. That's why you need to try that one. So they do.
They get to that hospital. They run in.
They fight. "We've got the dick."
Yeah. And the nurse immediately goes,
"You've got the dick." Brilliant. Everybody's all excited. They've obviously the hospital have been waiting for this dick. And they hand it over and the doctor rushes off. There's a bit of a quieter scene now where Sean admits his feelings to Becky finally. And they're just about to have a moment, but then they get interrupted by the doctor. Who says he wants to see them.
Yeah.
Because the operation is complete.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a success.
Yeah. But he can't stand up. Sean can't stand up.
Yeah.
Because he's got a boner.
Yeah.
He's got a boner. The penis has been reattached successfully. That's what the doctor tells them. Sean takes the credit of sucking the venom out of the penis. The doctor says there was never any venom in that penis.
Yeah, there's no need to do that.
There's no need to do that. There was never any in there. So he says, "Go in and see your mate. Everything's good." I was like, "Oh, we're at the end."
Yeah.
That's a nice little ending to this film. They open the curtains of the bed. It's only been attached to the wrong guy.
It has.
Some other dude has also had his penis chopped off.
Would you credit it?
What are the chances? So Jeremy's penis is now attached to another dude who's had his penis chopped off by his wife or his girlfriend.
Yeah, for cheating on her with her sister.
Yes.
And so obviously everything has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, it's all gone wrong. They have a massive argument between the four of them.
Yeah, the truth comes out about Chad.
Donnie tells Becky about Chad. She gets wappy. We cut back to Jeremy in his hotel bed. The nurse tells him now there's literally no chance now.
Flower's dead. All the
flower's
are
dead.
dropped off.
She puts the flower in the bin.
Jeremy says, "Oh yeah, okay, let's go ahead with the skin graft."
Yeah.
And the nurse says, "Well, it's too late for that."
Yeah. You've just got to have a.
You're just gonna have a hole.
Just gonna have a hole. She says, before she puts the flower in the bin, she says, "Unless your penis has had a fresh supply of blood, we're not getting it back on you."
Yeah.
Oh, well, guess what the penis has just had in the last scene? I've written down at this point, this film has only been on for an hour. We have still half an hour left of this film.
So Sean and Donnie are outside the hospital. They're being all morose because everything's gone wrong.
Yeah.
They've failed in their mission.
Yeah.
And suddenly, two sewage workers turn up, and they have a cooler.
Yes.
And they overhear him saying, "We found a penis."
I can't believe you found a penis in the sewer.
Yeah. And they run into the hospital.
Yeah. So
Sean and Donnie follow them.
Sean and Donnie go and tell the man who's got the wrong dick that he's got the wrong dick.
Yeah, and that his dick's just arrived.
So he looks down and says, "Yeah, that's definitely not my dick. That's the ugliest dick I've ever seen. That's the smallest dick I've ever seen."
Yeah.
It's dick jokes. Everybody loves a dick joke.
And the doctor comes in, they explain what's happened,
yeah.
And the doctor says, it's not like changing your socks or something.
Yeah, it's not that easy. We can't just take one off and put one on.
Yeah.
But then the guy offers his old penis to Jeremy because Sean gives him a bit of a monologue speech about how much he needs it.
And how good Jeremy's penis is. So that's the sort of result we've come to.
Yeah, even the doctor agrees with that. He gives him his key card and says, "Go and steal the penis.
Yeah,
and take it to your mate."
Yeah, just as they're about to do that.
Yeah. Donnie hits him. Donnie hits the doctor
Yes,
quite hard and gives him a nosebleed. I thought that was
to make it realistic that they've stolen his
key card. And I think he was pretty pissed off that he attached it to the wrong person.
So they're just about to go and do that, and then this guy's ex-wife comes back in.
Yeah.
And she is batshit crazy.
She is batshit crazy. To use a phrase that we use a lot on this podcast, she's mental. So she's the one who cut off the penis. He says that he still loves her. She says she still loves him. Everybody leaves. You think it's all happy and nicey until you hear him screaming and screaming and screaming because she's done it again.
Yes.
She's chopped it off again. So, and she says, every time you get it put back on, I'm going to chop it off again.
So there is then a fight in this hospital room between Sean and Donnie and this scalpel wielding ex-girlfriend of Reggie, who's the guy in the bed.
Yes.
And it's a game of like catch the penis.
Yeah.
Because it gets thrown around, lobbed around,
all over the place.
And they end up in the bathroom.
Yeah. She throws it in the toilet.
She goes to flush it.
She puts Donnie's head in the toilet.
Yeah.
Because she's going to flush him in the toilet and the penis in the toilet.
Yeah.
Which she does. She flushes the toilet. Donnie lifts his head up and he's got it in his mouth.
Yeah.
So now both lads have had the penis in their mouth because it's funny that lads suck penises. They get it back on ice. Meanwhile, Becky's rang Chad to come and pick her up.
Yeah.
She's had enough of this whole situation. She's going to abandon her brother's penis. He turns up. He's typical American jock boy.
Yeah.
In his open top car, whatever you call him.
I think he's in a Jeep.
Jeep, that's the word I was looking for. It's a Jeep. Sean, before she gets to him, Sean finally tells Becky she's amazing and he really likes her.
And they've now got
the penis.
Jeremy's dick, and they can. Yeah. They've got one more chance.
Yeah.
To get it back to him.
He messes that up again. He says something that makes him sound stupid, but she goes. He starts coughing. He can't stop coughing for some reason.
Yeah, so he has to take a drink out of
the cooler that the penis is in.
Yeah, because they put it in this like huge cup with ice. And, yeah.
Yeah, she gets the gist of it though, and they ditch Chad. They leave him there, even though he's driven all the way to pick Becky up, and they get there on another mad race to get the penis back to Jeremy.
But they still don't know where they're going.
They don't know where they're going
because they don't know which hospital he's in.
Yes.
But they look up on the phone, don't they? And they said there's like 5 hospitals in a whatever mile radius. Yeah. But then Sean has a bit of a lightning bolt of a thought.
There's a eureka moment.
And he thinks, well, Jeremy had a fake ID on him, didn't he?
Yes.
So he might not be checked in under his name.
He'll be checked in under the name on the fake ID.
Yeah. And the first hospital they were at was the nearest hospital.
Yeah. So they ring that
that
hospital up first, don't
they?
They say the name that's on the fake ID. It's something like Jeremy Jessup.
Yeah, something
like that. And it turns out he is there and he was in the first hospital all along.
Yeah.
So if they had gone in and gone, we've got the penis, they probably would have realised, but they didn't. They went in with his name the first time. So they call Jeremy and say, look, we're on our way. We know where you are. We're coming.
Yeah.
Just as he gets
dosed up
to go into surgery.
Correct.
It's too late.
Yeah.
He realises, well, he doesn't realise because he's asleep, but nobody else knows that the phone call happened. They're in a mad rush for time now. And they get there, and then you get a crazy running through a hospital with a penis montage. So
another unnecessary slow-mo. This
is the third montage in this film. Yeah. You've had your drinking montage. Now you've got you running through the hospital.
So his dick is now getting kicked, thrown.
Sean's elbowing nurses. Yeah. Donnie's punching people. Becky's jumping over people. It's crazy.
Sort of, yeah. But almost using it as like a football. They're passing it through each other to try and get through to the operating room.
Sean does a diving catch through the door of the operating room, catches the penis, screams, I've got the penis! But he's not in the operating room, he's in the cleaning room where you scrub up before you go to the operating room. So he just gets up with the and then just walks through the door and tells them.
And then,
we're getting to the end.
Yeah, that's it. They deliver the...
Yeah, Sean asks Donnie out. No. Sean asks Donnie out. Sarah asks Donnie out while they're waiting.
But she's just having him on.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just having him on. Becky and Sean go to kiss, but they can't because Sean's had Jeremy's penis in his mouth and that'd be weird.
He's not. So she says, yeah, I'm not. You've got to clean your teeth for this.
Yeah. That's basically it. Cut to some time later. I don't know how much longer later, probably a couple of weeks maybe. Sean's packing up to go back to Germany and wheelchair Jeremy shows up.
Yeah.
So he turns up in his brand new wheelchair car. He's in a wheelchair because he's only just been taken out of hospital because he's had his penis reattached. And he gets out of the car with him.
Kendall Jenner's
is a real girl. Yeah. That's the end of the film. Becky gives the condom back to Sean. They have a bit of a kiss while everybody's watching. Jeremy falls out of his wheelchair and is scrolling on the floor watching him.
Yeah, because he wants to go and watch his
sister getting off with his best friend.
Because to prove their twin connection.
Yeah, and the camera pans away from them and end of film. What are your thoughts?
Garbage.
See, this is interesting because I should hate this film, and I feel like you hated this film a lot more than I did.
Well, I think I laughed 3 times. Well, 2.5 times maybe.
It isn't as funny as it wants to be. There are some good lines in it. When Sean, right at the beginning, Sean says to Donnie, "You look like you've drank a glass of Ed Sheeran's pubes," because he's got a little ginger moustache. That made me laugh. There's little lines in it, but I didn't hate it.
I
didn't love it. Don't get me wrong, I didn't love it, and I would never have watched it, and I didn't hate it.
I get the premise of, and the theory behind it is, again, bang, bang, bang. If you don't laugh at this joke, you laugh at the next one.
Yeah.
That's why it's
relentless.
rapid fire, and I get that. Constant. I appreciate that. So a lot of it misses.
Yeah.
I like I say, I laughed a couple of times. I laughed at Sean hurting his back when the guy was sort of whipping him. I like I say, some of the physical comedy stuff.
Yeah.
I thought the Toy Story 2 reference was brilliant.
If it is one, in fact, or if it's a
absolutely brilliant. I thought that just stuck out like a sore thumb for me.
Yeah.
I thought the performances were pretty good.
I thought they were all really
Sean
good.
was good. I thought Becky was good. They went for it. They did go for it.
I thought all 5 of the main characters were really good.
But the hit rate of the gags was
I'll give you that.
for me.
But I didn't hate it. And I was expecting to hate it. I was thoroughly expecting to hate it. I thought I was going to come on here and talk about, wow, this is open house levels. But I'm not going to.
Oh no, it wasn't that bad. Okay, it wasn't. It wasn't great. It wasn't great.
I wouldn't recommend it. There's people I know that will enjoy it. Don't get me wrong.
Really, I don't think I'd recommend this one.
I wouldn't recommend it, but I know at least 2 people that would love it. I'm not going to say any names, but I think you know what I mean. It's all right. It's all right for an hour and a half. I didn't hate it as much. I was expecting to. I wanted to sit on here and destroy it, and I can't because it was.
I'm not going to destroy it. It's nothing.
Just a bit of a meh.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as what we watched last week.
No, it wasn't.
So I didn't particularly like that, but that was interesting at least. This was just. There's loads of films like this.
There is, yeah.
Teen comedies.
It felt out of time because late 90s it probably would have done really well. It's probably 20 years too late. If you compare it to films like American, there's obviously a comparison to American Pie, things like Coach Trip and that sort of film that came out in the late 90s.
Yeah, but
it's 2000s. Back then it probably would have done a lot better than it has.
Maybe.
But
but even back to the stuff like 80s stuff like Porky's and stuff like that, it's just not.
You're right.
It's not a patch.
There will be people out there that love it. There are people that love that sort of comedy.
I just think there's
better
there's
versions
50,
of it.
there's 100 films
better than
this sort of thing
agreed.
better than this.
Agreed. Maybe I enjoyed it because I had to watch it, and I was.
Well, it's not going to test you. It's
not at all.
You want something to throw on. I didn't think it was unfunny, and I didn't hate it. Nothing really landed with me.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I'm like, well, this is supposed to be funny, and it's raised 3 giggles out of me. That's one every half an hour. I must
admit, I've had a lot more fun talking about it than I did when I was watching it.
Me too. Yeah. It's been much more fun to recap it.
Yeah.
Mostly because I've watching you squirm a little bit.
I really hope my mum did take my warning at the beginning. If you're still watching, you're in trouble. Listening, you're in trouble. So that brings us to the stream table. This is an interesting one. I'm not going to run through it all. It's available on the website bottomofthestream.podbean.com. There's 11 films on there. Where does it go?
I would put it under just right under Bottom of the World that we were watching that last week.
Okay, so it again fills that gap between the top and the bottom.
Me, I would say.
So between 7 and 8.
Yeah. How about you?
It isn't as good as Don't Kill It, and it isn't as good as Bottom of the World. So yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you. It is better than Await Further Instructions. Yeah. It does. It sits there. You're right again. Again, we're going to regret.
Packing out the middle of the table the last couple of weeks.
We are, definitely are. So that puts it in number 8.
Yeah.
Between Bottom of the World and Await Further Instructions.
So 8 out of 12. Yeah, I feel that's...
I'll be happy. I'm happy with that.
Awesome.
Check out the stream table on the website. It should be updated now as we're talking, as you're listening. And go from there.
Excellent.
Do you want to pick next week's film?
Let's do it.
I'll get the app up. I'm going to press the button. Mirage. What's Mirage?
No idea.
Okay, Mirage is a film from 2018. It looks like it was made for TV because it's rated as TVMA. It is 2 hours and 8 minutes long.
Ooh.
So quite a long film. A drama, romance, thriller. It looks to me as if it's Mexican. It may be Spanish. It's definitely Spanish in some way. don't know if it's in English or if it's going to be subtitled. It doesn't say. The synopsis says, 2 storms separated by 25 years. A woman murdered, a daughter missed, only 72 hours to discover the truth. Do you want to watch the trailer?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Ready? Yes.
What's wrong, Mom?
The storm is here, just like years ago. What's this?
Did you know that they recorded this tape on today's exact date, but in 1989?
That boy you saw playing was Nicholas Hart. The neighbor from next door killed his wife. Then he was run over by a car.
The urgent story we announced earlier, which is...
Hello? Hello? Wait, if you go out on the street tonight, tomorrow you will be dead. Nico, please don't go out on the street! Don't go, a car will run you over! Have you seen Gloria? I'm her mommy. Don't you remember me? What are you doing in my house?
My house.
What did you say? There was a connection with the storm, and then everything changed.
We're looking for this woman. You're suffering from an episode of transient global amnesia.
What I want to know is if my daughter is okay.
This is the time I have to find my daughter.
Take a look around and you'll remember.
Good trailer.
Yeah, it is a good trailer. It looks quite interesting.
Yeah.
It looks a lot less Mexican in person than it did on the poster.
I think it's dubbed, but yeah, this.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
We'll watch that and we'll come back next week to talk about it.
Let us know if you watch the package. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, let us know. It'll be interesting.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks. Bye.